Hi everyone, I'm back. So remember I told you that I needed to talk to you guys about some stuff that God was convicting me? Well, yeah. And it's some pretty deep stuff, okay? Now, let me just let you know that this is my perspective. This is my viewpoint. This is my take. Um, if you are struggling with mental health, substance abuse, or suicide, please contact 911. Please get a therapist um, to work these things out with, okay? This is just to bring awareness and to let you know that you are not alone. So I wanted to call this Just Waking Up. I am just waking up. I feel like I've been living in a cocoon, or I don't even know what to call it, where I think that is rainbows and butterflies and unicorns, because I choose to look at things at its best and look at people at their best. And that was my coping mechanism, right? Coping mechanism for trauma. My first discussion is going to be about trauma. Look at everything with the glass half full, that every person is good, that, you know, you have to prove me wrong before I'm done with you, right? And let me tell you something. I had 15 years in recovery, and I've done a lot of work on myself based on a traumatic event that happened to me when I was a young child. And I thought I worked it out, okay? When these things affect us in so many ways that I couldn't even fathom how it affected us. Forget about the act, but everything else that happens, how the family responds to it, how you were raised in your family, what kind of help did you get, everything affects and shapes the person that I became, right? For the past 15 years, I thought I was doing, so well, and I am doing well, because I didn't allow that to stop me from being in relationships and things like that. But we all know that relationships is a two-way street. We can't blame the other person. We have to take a look at ourselves. I'm all about accountability. Forget about what that other person did. I have to look at my part, okay? So it's been really difficult the last few months. And of course, I've had to work my situation out through marriage and having children, things like that. Thank God I had a good support system. This is so important to you. You need a good support system. You need to get a therapist. You need to get a good family member, priest, whomever that you can talk to about these things, okay? So again, this is my perspective, right? So I really thought that brothers and sisters are like the bond, like Siamese twins or triplets or whatever, that we're always going to stick together, but that's not the case, right? So I heard this psychologist say that, each child has a different experience in the home. Each child had a different mother and father in the home. Couldn't really understand that, because we had the same mom, and but the thing was that we did have different experiences, right? And it came to a point where I started to feel like, why wasn't I closer to my sisters? Or why wasn't I close to my brother? Why don't we have this bond that no matter what, we'll take care of each other, right? Why is that? The reason is because we all grew up differently in different environments. We eventually came together, but still different environments. So I was taken aback the other day when a situation happened, and I felt that my sisters should know me better. After all, we lived in the same house for quite a few years. We kind of grew up together, but I was a lost soul. Like, I was running all the time. I was running from I was the age of 13, always out of the house. Had a son at 15, but always running, never really staying in the house. So how can anybody get to know anybody if you're really not in the house, right? Not experiencing things, not going through things. That wasn't the case in my house. But I didn't think of it that way. So something happened, something was said, and I got offended because I thought that my sisters should know me better than that. And they should wonder or come back to me and say, "Oh my God, Ann, you really acted away the other day. Is everything all right? That's not like you." But that wasn't the case. Instead, in my eyes, I was perceived as a stranger that nobody knew. And it turns out that's correct. After I did some, I'm doing some shadow work also. Because, look, it's important for you to look at yourself. Don't look at the other person, the other people. They're never going to understand what you feel. And you are not going to understand what they feel. You can try, you can be empathetic, but the feelings are not going to be mutual. They are not going to feel what you feel, what you've gone through, or even know what you've gone through, and vice versa. And that's valid. But awareness is key, because feelings can get hurt. My feelings got hurt. I'm sure their feelings got hurt because I did not act the greatest. So I'm thinking that I've dealt with my trauma, right? From when I was younger. And I talked to my therapist. And I'm doing the shadow work. And I realize it's not the act of the trauma that I'm going through. It's the family response of the trauma that I'm going through. Wow. So the family response means that when I decided to trust someone and tell someone, they did not believe me. So I now don't trust anyone. I don't trust anyone. I don't want to get close to anyone, even my siblings. I'm going to protect myself. I, will not tell the truth if it's going to get me in trouble. I will do whatever it takes to keep me safe. Wow. It's not the act. It's the family response. So now when my sisters say, or anyone say, "You're fake, you're a fraud, why weren't you close to me or close to that one, whatever. I wasn't close to anybody. I didn't let anybody get close to me. And I didn't want to get close to you. Now I see. Back then, I thought I was just being, a sister. I just want some clothes, and I had money, whatever. But no, I didn't want to get close to anybody. And I didn't want anybody to get close to me. Because if I saw a trait in you that was going to harm me, I was going to stay away. If I saw something like you weren't going to accept me, or you weren't going to believe me, or you weren't going to protect me, or you were going to harm me, or you were going to be jealous of me, I stayed away. I stayed away because that is what I received. That is the message that I received from the person that I told, and they didn't believe me. I wasn't safe. I felt like they were jealous. I feel like I couldn't tell the truth. And I felt like I had no relationship with anyone that was in that house. Does this resonate with you? Let me know if it does. And if it does, I'm glad that it resonates. So now that you can do something about it. Again, if you're feeling sad, depressed, see a psychiatrist, see a therapist, dial 911. But this is something you can work through. Okay? So we're going to talk more about other things. But this one was about opening up your eyes about trauma responses, and family response to trauma. So I didn't tell you. My response to trauma was I felt attacked. I felt I wasn't being heard. And so I spewed out things to protect myself. I spewed out things to hurt you, to protect myself, so that you wouldn't hurt me. Not necessarily good. I learned from it, but not good. Because you know what that means? I'm not healed. I'm not healed all the way. So we'll get into it some more. Talk to you soon. Don't forget to leave your responses, okay?